Hello and welcome to the weekly cyber intelligence brief for 24 October 2025. I'm AJ Nash, digital intelligence advocate for Authenticate. We continue to see significant intensification of nation state cyber operations and a formalized convergence between state and criminal actors that is fundamentally reshaping the global threat landscape. We observed a persistent increase in aggression, particularly through large scale operations targeting broad sectors rather than merely specific high value individuals. All right, well, let's dig into the details. First, that's nation state escalation and espionage. Let's talk about advanced persistent threat activity that continues to increase in volume and sophistication. Iranian government sponsored threat actors deployed the Phoenix backdoor against more than 100 government entities across North America, the Middle East, and North Africa. This was a sustained espionage campaign that primarily targeted foreign affairs ministries, defense contractors, and critical infrastructure operators, with a demonstrated focus on intelligence related to nuclear negotiations, regional conflicts, and opposition movements. Mandiant and CrowdStrike have each attributed this operation to Iranian APT groups, and they have high confidence. In parallel, Chinese APT groups executed a vast global campaign exploiting the critical tool shell Sharepoint vulnerability, CVE 2025-53770. This global reach resulted in over 400 compromises affecting telecommunications firms, government departments, financial institutions, and universities across multiple continents. The groups, including Budworm and Sheathminder, utilized sophisticated malware like the Shadowpad modular rat and Zingdoor HTTP backdoor following their exploitation. Now, this demonstrates a clear shift toward mass scale operations. Adding to this state level activity, nation state adversaries successfully compromised F5 systems, resulting in the exfiltration of source code and undisclosed vulnerability data for big IP technology. The Australian Signals Directorate described this as one of the most serious incidents in recent memory due to its significant national security implications. Intelligence indicates that over 266,000 F5 big IP instances were exposed online following the disclosure. Observed threat actor activity linked to this is associated with the Chinese APT group UNC 5291. Now, not to be left out of the fun, the Russian state sponsored group Cold Driver developed and deployed three entirely new malware families: Norobot, Yes Robot, and Maybe Robot. Yeah, following public exposure of their previous infrastructure. Concurrently, the North Korean Lazarus group conducted Operation Dream Job through social engineering and fake recruitment, specifically targeting at least three companies involved in unmanned aerial vehicle or UAV development to extract drone technology intelligence. Like I said, nation state actors have been very busy. Moving on to critical vulnerabilities and ransomware activity, Microsoft's October Patch Tuesday addressed 175 vulnerabilities, including three zero-day vulns confirmed under active exploitation in the wild. These 0 days, along with two critical 9.8 severity vulnerabilities affecting Windows Server Update Service, that's CVE 2025-59287, and Azure Entra ID, which is CVE 2025-59246, they represent significant risks for enterprise Windows infrastructure and cloud identity services. Now, the Storm 1175 threat group was linked to active exploitation of the CVS 10.0 rated Go Anywhere managed file transfer vulnerability. That's CVE 2025-10035. Storm 1175 deployed Medusa ransomware across diverse sectors, including healthcare, finance, government, and the military. Their tactics included dropping remote monitoring tools and creating web shells. Perhaps the most significant zero-day campaign comes from Clop ransomware group. They've initiated a large-scale extortion campaign leveraging a zero-day vulnerability, that's CVE 2025-61882, in Oracle e-business suite. The vulnerability was exploited for approximately 2 months, from August 9th until Oracle released emergency patches October 4th. Victims included Harvard University and Envoy Air. This wave of cloud exploitation revealed critical gaps in the shared responsibility model, as many organizations mistakenly assumed Oracle would automatically manage patching in cloud deployments. Now, moving on to strategic trends, the most critical trend in the is that formalized convergence between state and criminal actors. The Russian government has transitioned to active management of cybercrime groups, providing targeting, intelligence, and operational protection in exchange for operations aligned with state interest. This allows Russia to leverage criminal infrastructure while maintaining plausible deniability. Concurrently, Cambodia-based cryptocurrency fraud operations have achieved industrial scale, with forced labor compounds generating an estimated $14 billion in fraud proceeds. Federal prosecutors charged the leadership of the Prince Holding Group, designated the operations as transnational organized crime. This convergence between defenders must now assume that this convergence means defenders must now assume that criminal operations may be benefiting from state level targeting intelligence. Finally, threat actors are increasingly abusing both cloud infrastructure and legitimate security tools. Examples include the Shark Stealer InfoStealer campaign targeting Azure Blob Storage and employing blockchain technology, it's BNB Smart Chain Testnet, for command and control, which makes malicious traffic appear as legitimate node communications. Additionally, ransomware operators were observed weaponizing Velociraptor, an open source digital forensics tool to maintain persistent access and deploy ransomware. Now, this coincides with reports of a 34% year over year increase in ransomware targeting critical infrastructure, a trend that has translated into real world operational disruptions, including healthcare organizations experiencing code black declarations and the closure of emergency departments. All right. Well, as I said, it's been a very busy week. This is just the beginning of it. In terms of the reporting here, you can go check out the full report for yourself because this is all the time I have here. But go to Authenticate's blog. That's authentic plus the number 8.com/blog. You can get all the details from all these topics and more because you can read the entire weekly cyber intelligence brief there. You'll also get recommendations for mitigating the threats that we just talked about. All right, listen, that's all I've got for today. Until next week, stay vigilant.